Yeah, for some reasons, that game didn't work out.
Back into the call down. Dindy biting up more than he can shoot. He will be cleaned up now. Puppy caught out in the middle of the fight.
We were getting stronger and stronger.
In this point of the game, there is nothing else in the whole game that can change anything.
And Tong Fu is beginning to grind Na'Vi down. They got a 5-kill lead, right around 5,000 gold to their advantage.
This is really troublesome for Na'Vi.
The game was on the edge and we could lose it like any moment. I was sure about that. We knew we needed to do something, so we started to try something out.
Tong Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Howell brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain.
但是突然被勾的时候，其实一开始，因为那局我们优势很大嘛，一开始会觉得也没什么，下次注意一点就行了。
Dandy said, "This is the only way we can win the game." Us too, just doing that stupid stuff. I was like, "All right, let's go."
Dandy's gonna try it again. Can he? Got him that time. See you in the base move.
Whenever I saw enemy around, I would ask Papi TP me. He would TP me and I would try hooking.
Oh, there we go. The hook got him.
Fountain hook, fountain hook, fountain hook. It would continue. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Just keep it up.
然后结果他不停的勾，就感觉怎么说呢？就感觉很神奇吧。
Tong Fu didn't know what to do. Like they actually screwed up quite a lot.
It's hard to stay calm. Mentally, you're panicking. Apocalypse is happening in your head.
He just goes to Tong Fu.
Gyrocopter Aegis, siege high ground, you know. Everybody knows the simple road to victory. The game should be done as simple, but he just got removed.
Oh, he got him! He got him! They're on their feet, they're chanting! All it took was one fountain hook.
Howell playing Gyrocopter could have simply just TP'd after the hook. He could have just TP'd back home.
然后最后就是被勾回去了，2条命死了，然后就导致最后的一个比赛输掉嘛，就非常的遗憾。
The fact of the matter is, like a player that was on point probably would have still won that game as Gyrocopter. Probably should have never gotten hooked. Probably. But Dota is a lot like life, you know? Shit happens, you have to deal with it.
Hooking Tong Fu players with Chen teleport was one of the most amazing things that I've done. It was vicious, and I was part of it.
I was very angry watching the game. It's not really so much against Na'Vi as against the rules.
A lot of people were saying it's very unfair or wrong. We came into the player lounge and I saw Loda screaming.
Remove that from the game. That was the biggest joke I've ever seen. The biggest fucking joke I've ever seen.
There's these rules about bug abuse, but what is bug abuse and what is not. I'm still a bit salty about it, I think.
Like, how can you win? How can you even be allowed to win that way? Tong Fu had that game. Is that balanced? You hook a guy with Aegis? It should be. Oh my fucking god.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Disqualification.
Yeah, he was definitely like, "You guys don't deserve it" or something like that. And they're like, "Whatever, dude."
Let them try this thing. They can do it. Go on, try this thing.
You have to respect the skill that it took for those fountain hooks to happen. If it was completely broken and super easy to do, everyone would be doing it. They weren't afraid to try it or make it happen.
I was sure the game was fair, even after like I heard those screamings.
因为在我们那个中国人眼里，就是觉得输了就是输了，就是不会说因为它全水沟是一个可能相对来说比较不太平衡的一个东西吧，然后会去埋怨什么东西。我们就觉得输了就是我们自己技不如人吧，包括国内的也都会觉得对方会觉得对方打得厉害，不会说因为这个东西太 bug 了或者怎么着。
这也是下一年赢得 TI 的一个原因吧，但是当时我没有找他们讨论过这个问题吧，我怕提起他们的伤心事，他们打我。
Some exploits are fun and good. This was one of them. Maybe a bit too strong, but still.
It was too strong.
就之后削掉的倒是就是没什么了嘛。
You can discredit the game, but in reality, like, Dota is still the same. You can still win games in the most weird ways that haven't been seen or done.
It's the same for everyone, so it's fair for everyone, and it's just kind of a part of the way Dota tournaments go.
I am Nam. I'm from Team DK.
It's another kill, courtesy of Lanham's gem.
I'm Mushi. My team is Team DK.
Budding, killing up the heroes on the sidelines. Mushi just wrecking people at the fountain.
I mean, I didn't do well in my studies, to be honest. Yeah, it's a good thing that Dota and other games came and saved my life, I guess.
My girlfriend older than me, so she's parents think she should be married. Because I'm a player, I haven't got married yet. This is why her parents are unhappy.
I'm always happy that I have fans who supporting me.
I'm actually making a living out of gaming. I mean, before I was playing games because it was just a hobby, and now I can sustain my life because, gaming is actually sustainable.
Here comes the Kraken. That's one. That's number two.
I want to retire, got married with my girlfriend. It's for me, it's dream. For my girlfriend, it's dream.
No matter what result we get, I'm enjoying playing with my teammate because we train hard and then we have a dream together. This is our best memories.
I want to be the best player in the world, but I do it for myself, to be honest. I just want to be the best and prove it to myself that I am the best.
It's really mean a lot to me and can change everyone's life.
Commanding performance from DK. Commanding performance by DK.
I think this is one of the most well-executed games I've seen in the tournament so far.
Actually, I feel there's no dream teams, there is only Team DK.
I think for any team that is in the finals, that's just 100% focus. You know that you're the two best teams in the world. Either of you could win. It's a very weird feeling. It feels like you need to win this with all your soul and body and mind, like everything that you've achieved in Dota and that you've done in Dota has built up until this moment.
Some people maybe feel pressured. Crowd was always very friendly to us. The crowd would help us a lot. Big scene is good for us, but for someone else, I don't know, it's different.
50,000, 500,000, 2 million people are watching, like, okay, that's great. It's a lot of pressure. Playing with thousands of spectators watching you, you're more prone to make mistakes because you're thinking about it more. Just keep your cool and not let any distractions such as the crowd or, the pressure get to you. Guarantee you someone else on the other team will let it get to them, so if you're able to keep your cool, you're probably going to win.
Dota is a sick mental game. It brings out the best and worst in you. Who ended up winning the mental warfare always won the series. That's how you're going to win tournaments. That's how you win the tournament. And, if you break the other mind, it gets really easy. Some minds are really hard to beat, though.
Well, at TI5, I had no anxiety. I was totally comfortable in my own skin, and I think that I played really well, and everything was great. But then I go to the Summit 4, this $100,000 tournament versus this $18 million tournament. I'm sitting there in the finals, down 0-2 against VP, and I'm just having trouble breathing. It's weird like that, and you don't know when anxiety is going to hit you. If you're freaking out, somebody else is probably freaking out too.
Just a screw up in the game, you made a mistake in the game and that's why you lost. Those things can happen, but those things should not eat you. Sadly, a lot of people end up thinking about their loss a lot because they could have done better.
To lose in finals, just one step before winning, it's hit you much harder.
输了以后，第一个感觉就是我很对不起所有的粉丝，因为他们一直以来都很支持我，尤其是在场所有的观众也是在呼喊着我的名字，所以我觉得很对不起他们。然后过后我很伤心，然后我就出去
躲在厕所啊、出去啊，一直流眼泪，就很久，才能平复下我的心情。
It doesn't matter if we lose or not. Just those words reminds us of what we've done and that we don't need to be afraid of losing. It sounds like maybe not a winning mentality, but I think it's opposite. You remove the fear of losing, so you would not be afraid to do risks, which can be very necessary in these games.
I hadn't won a lot in my career up until, pre-TI4, but then after we started winning, it was a different kind of scene for me. You got more fans, you got more prestige, everything changes when you start winning.
Things just worked out for us, and TI5 was our tournament to win. That was one of 2 tournaments we won throughout that entire year, and it was the big one.
觉得自己这是真的吗？就是我当时拿完冠军第一时间就问自己这是真的吗？也没有一些很高兴的一些反应，然后觉得后面确定自己不是在做梦，然后就非常的兴奋吧。
就是如果我会给一个没有打过 TI 决赛的人的意见的话，就是当你打 TI 决赛的时候，就那几个小时，希望可以好好的珍惜，因为时间过得很快，一下子就会过去，然后你会很后悔当时没有好好的享受。
The strongest players doesn't win, it's the strongest team that wins. And it's almost always like that. If you don't perform every second of your games, you might lose to a team that's actually not better than you, but they're just hungrier.
I don't think any Dota player will go into these games and crumble under pressure. This is when you get your strongest. This is when it's going to be the hardest to break you. I strongly believe that if I woke up a morning and I had to play the TI final, I would play the best Dota of my life. And that's all that would matter to me. If I played my very best, nothing else would matter.
Players know what to do in an instant of a second inside a game. That goes for commentary as well. If a commentator knows this is the moment.
Here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dive! In from Universe! It's a disaster!
I do think that TI is very special for everyone. History of Dota is like written at TI.
Navi's about to be caught. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of Heaven turns it around.
Players and casters are making the history together, of course, but if you don't put voice on what you are doing, it's worthless.
To me, what makes a great call at TI is like, I'd say, raw emotion.
Boxing in a higher. Epi. Power strike onto 2. Just on a way, but took them out.
The point is to tell the story of the fight. You have to be able to build up to it. That itself, it's a skill that I feel only a very few people have.
But now the call! There! He stops it right in the tracks! They're going to be able to take down 2! And a third falls from Evo! Evil geniuses!
I think a good crowd is everything. At times, deafening to the point where you can't really hear the game sound. It's always like an interesting challenge finding the balance between egging them on and feeding into that passion, but not letting it like completely wash you away.
I always want to ride the wave that is the crowd. If they're that loud, then I'm matching them. Like, I will try and keep up.
Bulba wants to open up. Tucky's dragging him back. Nixon holds Bulba away. Joe, low life. He can't Shakuchi. Nice. He can't Shakuchi. Liquid get first blood.
That's what the thing is about classic good casting. Like, every single time, I still get goosebumps.
Everything hangs in the balance. It all comes down to this.
The last game of the International 3 finals between Alliance and Navi. 5th game, everything on the line.
One more game, $2 million on the table. Winner, first place at the International, the aegis and the prestige of being the best Dota 2 team in the world.
The big one, the $1 million dream coil. Everybody remembers that play. I can remember every single word Luminous is screaming.
Alliance are doing it! They need a little more! Supposed to fall! Down in jeopardy! There's a glyph! It's going to be their last!
All this hype is building. The TPs are canceled. The $1 million dream coil has already happened. They're pushing in.
BKB! They want this round! They're gonna do it!
And it's just like, Alliance is doing it! The Kings of the North!
Alliance wins! They win TI3!
Every time I think about it, I get the shivers. It's just so good.
If you have the same game commentated by different people, it will be a very different story for each commentator, because each commentator will highlight something different. The way that Toby does Black Hole, the moment that Enigma is picked, he's like, okay, let's do this, I'm ready. You can see his whole face, his lights up.
Even though it's become a meme and died as a meme, he still gets giddy.
This is gonna be it. He's ready for it.
They're losing their Rama. Black Hole! Big one from Fly! There'll be a follow-up into a call! Let the spin skirt, dumps one! It's a double kill! It's an accurate slam! It's a disaster! Oh, VP!
Toby is also really good at commentary because he used to do acting jobs, so he knows how to use his voice without depleting it. And I think the Korean commentators do that as well. They get singing lessons or voice lessons so that they can shout.
There was some clip on YouTube, the Korean casters, the hype level it wasn't just here, it was like here.
And it was just this boring farm fest that went on for forever. And meanwhile, there's just these two Korean casters that are going crazy over every little thing.
이거 전략 포즈 아닙니까?
They're bored out of their minds, but they're still yelling.
아니 이 장엄한 베나루의 홀에 예? 아까까지만 해도 도서관이었어요. 왜냐면 관중의 반들이 잠을 자고 있었거든요. 자다 깼는데 아직 게임하니까 짜증난다 이거죠.
They basically have to entertain the entire Korean audience or whoever was listening because the game was so dull.
그래 밀고 있죠. 그렇죠. 밀고 있죠. 이게 그래 밀고 있어요. 그래 밀고 있어요. 야 제발.
Oh my god, I love that clip so much. Boston Major.
Adfinem versus OG. It was the grand finals. It was an insane game. We're playing against Mega Creeps.
This was OD Pixel's moment. He starts talking on the microphone. He says some stupid shit. It makes no sense. Is he going for it? He is. He is going for it.
No. Oh my god!
That could have been it! Anything he said would have gone down in Dota 2 history! And God, if it wasn't the perfect response to that moment.
The best commentators are the ones that can actually entertain the crowd and, more importantly, create the memories. When that one amazing play comes along, you have to elevate that to become memorable for eternity.
This is the moment. Каждая игра в нашей жизни вела нас сюда.
This tournament exists because we all love Dota. It's as simple as that.
To have your name on the Aegis, it's proof that you belong. 这不仅仅是冠军盾，而是 Dota 的全球盛典。
We all love this game. The highs and the lows.
It's not just what happens in the game. It's the bonds you make with the people outside of it.
Building friendships that will last for the rest of your life.
在打第一届 TI 的时候，我就有感觉这会是一个很特别的比赛，
而是把 Dota 和竞技带到了一个全新的高度。
One thing has remained the same: the strength of Chinese Dota.
Even before there was a TI, China was the epicenter of competitive Dota.
Where's the Aegis? It's that! You thief in the night!
并且，中国观众是全世界最热情的粉丝之一。
在这儿为了冠军盾而战斗，有着非凡的意义。这让我感觉，我们的 Dota 终于回来了。
This is the dream.
为赢得冠军盾而战，是一个梦想。
It's not a dream. It's the international.
Because of you, we get to compete in the biggest esports event in history. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 谢谢。Спасибо вам. Thank you. 谢谢。感谢上海接待我们。
Let's play some Dota.
隆重介绍全球 Dota 顶尖战队 Team Secret。Sigueme。2014年国际邀请赛冠军 Newbie。 年国际邀请赛冠军 Team Liquid。TNC Predator。2013年国际邀请赛冠军 Alliance。Infamous。Fanatic。Royal never give up. Fanatic. Meniski.2011年国际邀请赛冠军 Natus Vincere。Virtus Pro。2015年国际邀请赛冠军 Evil Geniuses。 PSG LGD.2018年国际邀请赛冠军 OG。 有请 Gabe Newell。
Welcome to the International. On behalf of the Dota community, I'd like to say thank you to the citizens and government of Shanghai for their hospitality and kindness. We are absolutely delighted to be holding this year's International here in China. My biggest question, are we going to finally have a repeat winner? Let's watch some Dota and find out. 谢谢 Shanghai.
It is the final proving ground. The arena in which legends are born. A trial by fire that puts the worthy and wanting alike to the ultimate test. It is the International. A tournament that summons the world's finest Dota teams to wage battle for the Aegis of Champions and carve their names into the chronicles of history. Clashing in tournaments around the globe, each contender has earned the right to stand here. For some, the road called upon the consistency expected of champions, and a resurgent power rose to join them at their best. Some teams have defied expectation to merely arrive here. Others still seek to harness the full potential of veteran lineups. They gather now at the chosen place, Shanghai, where the fire of the faithful burns bright and a legacy of Dota triumph runs to the very core. Each team must run the final gauntlet, where one moment can spark the rise to greatness, and a single misstep can bring it all to ruin. 16 teams compete for ultimate glory. Only one can claim immortality. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest celebration of Dota 2 on planet Earth. It is, of course, the one and only, the International 2019, live from Shanghai in China. For the very first time, the International on Asian soil. And what a start to the day. I've got Lacoste, Lyrical, and Trent alongside us. Gents, I'm kind of glad. You might have noticed it's a little bit noisy in here. It's absolutely packed to the rafters, by the way. Gents, I'm glad we don't have to break down an analyse the opening ceremony, because I don't even know where we begin. Maybe with Ice dodging through rather than doing that. I don't know. What a great start.
I mean, it's amazing that an opening ceremony can make me kind of forget that we just played all those group stage games, because none of that matters. What matters is how you perform here, and I think that ceremony just, it gives you the shivers, man.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, some of the videos in the middle as well, Lacoste. So I saw, you know, some old stuff. You were back there in the
I
old
was
days.
there, but there was no shot of me, sadly. They showed only the good players, but it still gives me chills. I could actually see my hair on the hand getting up. I mean, it's extremely good to be here in Shanghai, China, and this is what we want to see. This is the most beautiful time of the year.
Yeah, it is. Lyrica, what did you make of that first 20 minutes of the day? What a way to
It just blew
start.
my mind. It was unbelievable. And, like, every single moment of it, too, you could just hear the crowd reacting. I've never seen it this big. It's on a Tuesday morning, and they're all out here. It's 9 in the morning. What the heck's happening?
I came in and I kind of just, you know, we sat down and we kind of got ready. You just kind of look around and you go, holy crap, they're packed. How did they all get in here? I didn't even notice them. And then you know, opening ceremony started, that noise. You'll hear it come through our mics, I'm sure. It's absolutely incredible. Trent, I also I was measuring the cheering levels.
Yeah.
Because, you know, suddenly I was like, oh, wow, they really like Team Liquid. They really like Virtus Pro. I don't know. It's just crazy.
It worked. The jerseys, right?
The jersey,
Panda?
Yeah.
No, they were
they were so smart. They were so smart.
I heard tried something similar. It wasn't quite as loud, but you know, there's a little bit of a
All right,
cheer.
well, we're going to get more from you guys because we've got plenty to talk about before we head into analysing, I guess. Let's loosely call it that. But, of course, we want to introduce you to more of our broadcast team, two of which are, they're like the Abbott and Costello of Dota 2, or the No Tail and Fly. No, actually, Casey, Slacks, rescue me.
Oh, well, you've come to the right place, my friend.
Hello. So good to be back, Casey.
We're so excited to be here. You know, some of our favorite things to do every TI is to talk with fans. And the fact that we're able to do that here in China is so exciting for me. And we've already been able to talk to a bunch of people. We can't wait to bring you their stories.
Absolutely. I've been all over the world for Dota, and there's always that group of people that are screaming, the Chinese fans, no matter what, wherever I go. And now it's the entire arena, man. It's fantastic. I can't wait to be here in person.
The arena is packed. You guys excited?
Yes.
Excited. Yeah. 我喜欢 Shanghai. Shanghai 很美.
Shanghai 很美.
We're really excited for some good Dota 2.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's the best year competitive that we've seen so far. We're going to bring the action, and we're going to talk to real people here on the ground, Casey.
Yes, we are. All right, let's send it back to the panel.
Thanks very much, Casey Slacks, as ever. A bunch of fun, you know, enjoying themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that they've got a unique challenge here, trying to make it work amongst the crowd, but already they got the lingo down. They're good to go.
Yeah, Casey is absolutely amazing.
I mean, they both are. The combination between these two is just...
no, but her Chinese, I mean.
Oh,
I want to learn more. Like, that was amazing. I was like, wow, where did that come from?
I was expecting Slacks to speak some Chinese as well.
Were you?
Well, maybe later of the day.
Okay, we should get into things because we've got plenty to talk about before we get to our first game of the day. Our first series of the day, of course, 2 from the upper bracket. But before we get there, why don't we check in with a fantastic, probably the best ever group stage at TI.
The battle for the Aegis of Champions began. Standout teams found their stride early, leveraging Titan teamwork to stay near the head of the pack.
Oh no, oh no. Oh, Nico. He doesn't fight back a bubble of the Ravage. It hits the back lines. KP's gone with the double Laguna through the Grimstroke. You didn't even need to refresh it for that one. Get ready, they're just going to end it. They can end it because of that. Look at this. The Ana IO. They're just going into there. They can't do anything. They're all just spraying.
With a buyback, comes out immediately. Triple kill for Paparazzi. This man smells blood, wants to find the ET. He did so much damage to me earlier, but I'm going to give him the ultra kill and kill you off as well. Not Earthshaker anymore.
Oh, he's back.
He's back again, and Earthshaker, the switch back forward, finds the Rampage.
Each group was stacked with the world's finest Dota talent, and nothing in this world comes without a fight.
Gabby's in trouble. Gabby's shot down. It's Nisha with the triple kill. And he may not be done yet. The multicast come out, but it was Lotus. Nisha's ready to turn. He looks to Cuckoo. That's going to be an ultra kill. He's not done yet. Stepping forward. He's just shooting them all. Nisha, he's got a goddamn gun inside. He's killed the Rampage side. Come on, side. They'll kill Miracle. Miracle holding on to the buyback for now. Now her buyback GH with a freezing field in the midst of it all. The big they get Miracle. The 2-man vortex. He's flipping around. They're bombing down the meters. They've got Gabby. They're going to look towards Cuckoo. They'll get Cuckoo as well. It's a double kill for GH as Liquid are holding.
Another bash off the back of the meld. The duel is out, but it won't be enough. E-Flame Pop trying to actually protect the Legion, but she's already down the Requiem. It's so far away. I need a binoculars to see that ability. That's GG. Infamous are calling it. All the confidence is gone.
Veteran players had to find the will to triumph, forging order from chaos to give their teams a glimpse of light.
Epicenter is there. They're looking for this Tiny. Yeah, he loaded with the Burrow Strike. Tiny's still in all sorts of trouble here. He does have a toss if he wants to try and use it. Echo Slam catches out 3. Miracle absolutely destroying them. He's got the Maledict on him, though. He's going to take a lot of damage here. Old Chicken is just holding his ground. He's life-stealing back up as well. But he gets crit. He gets deleted. Miracle. Oh, that damage. Holy moly. Arteezy's slow on life. He'll try and hit your Rhinans out of S1 to get the hell out of here. Burrow Strike in 1 second, but the mana, it got taken away by the Mystic Snake. They have to pop out. They have to fight. At least he'll be able to get 1 die back over on the Tusker, or maybe he can get more. A double kill for Arteezy. A triple kill for Arteezy. He's just turned his crap up. Ultra kill, giving the Rampage to Pat.
After 4 days of grueling battle, the field has narrowed. For those who survived, the ultimate test on the main stage awaits.
There we go then, that's the group stage. We're going to recap as well and talk a little bit more about it because it was one of the most fascinating group stages we've had, gents. I'm excited every time the first game starts, but I have to tell you, when the first game started in the group stage, it was Alliance banning techies in the first phase bans against Secret, and then Alliance are winning for 20 minutes, dominating, and then Secret come up, I was thinking, what if it's half as good as that game for the rest of the game? I'm happy. It just got better.
You knew it's going to be the greatest group stage ever when you saw the techies ban, the IO being played as a carry, position 4 Invoker. A lot of these heroes are being played in untraditional roles, and this is just the beauty of the Dota.
They're making new traditions now out of these heroes. Like, I'm going to see position 4 Invoker in all of my pubs. We're going to see carry IO. We're going to have to get a lot of reports, right? Yeah, no, it's going to be a problem. But I think that it's not just the hero picks. It's like the gameplay, the comeback from Mega Creeps. It's been crazy.
And Trent, I also like the fact that we've had a lot. It feels like a really wide range of styles. No one's really figured everything out. Like, OG have got this kind of crazy, we'll just pick anything and play anything and whatever. Yes. We'll play IO carry and we don't care. But then the other teams are kind of like not playing for it, like Infamous. They've only played 34 heroes. Compare that to Chaos, who played 57 during the group stages. It's crazy.
And as the group stage, tends to go on, we start to narrow it a little bit for the heroes. So we do have some of our standout heroes, of course, right? We got like this Ogre Magi going on, the Elder Titan, who ended up being the most picked there too, and then all the combinations with him, like the Gyrocopter, all that magic damage and stuff. So we're figuring them out, but that is what's scary, right? Because you still don't know where you could go. And there's so many heroes that still haven't been touched that are TI classics. I mean, the Darkseer hasn't been picked. Keeper of the Light. That guy got one liquid TI.
Why? Why don't we take a quick look, actually, at the heroes that we haven't...
Do you have that power?
We might have that, because we're prepared here at the International. So let's take a look at the heroes that haven't been played yet, because there are only 7 of them.
Yeah, if you buff Darkseer, he's not going to get picked. That's just the way it is.
Wait,
in every single patch, he gets a nerf, keeps being the first ban, first pick material, and now he gets 25 damage on the vacuum. Not picked at all.
Okay, let me ask you this. Out of those 7, which one is the most likely to still be picked? Which one might get picked?
I would probably say Darkseer simply because of he's Darkseer and the offlane is still a little sketch to me right now. That Ogre gets banned out. The Ench is banned out.
So Trent's
I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. I played a lot of Darkseer. He feels terrible right now. This hero, like, you could pick anything else. You can run CM offlane and you're going to be all for your team.
He carried you.
You got like 2,000 MMR by playing
and then they nerfed him.
And you're going to turn on him like that?
All right, it's going to be Ursa because he owns Darkseer, and it doesn't matter. They're going to be able to pick it up.
All right, one of the other things I want to bring up, and we're going to show you kind of some notable stats from the group stage. We played 144 games during that group stage, and we averaged nearly 50 kills per game. 50 kills per game. Everyone's like, Dota's pretty quiet these days. Kind of,
that's not quiet.
Hold on, that's not quiet. That, ladies and gents, is the horn, which signals the start of day 1 of the main event.
I'm very, very afraid. I don't know if I'm ready for the hype levels it's bringing out right now.
It could get very hype in our first game of the day. Virtus Pro versus PSG LGD.
I mean, how the thing that's crazy is that this is how TI has started before.
As in previous seasons, Virtus.pro have returned to the International as major champion winners of the regular season, although it hasn't been the best of regular season for them. It's not the domination that they saw in 2018, but rather a calm approach towards TI. They didn't have a great group stage, it has to be said. They are under a lot of pressure after going 8-8 and only qualifying for this upper bracket match in their final game of the groups. Virtus.pro settle themselves down and await their opponents, who will get a rapturous applause from the hometown crowd. PSG LGD to the arena, and the chants have already begun. If Virtus.pro had a pretty average season, PSG LGD had a terrible regular season comparison. No majors to their name, didn't look all good all the way through, have struggled in plenty of those tournaments as well, but they've come here with one purpose: avenge the defeat they suffered 12 months ago in the grand final to OG Esports, and do it on home soil and become first-time champions of the International. It's incredible, actually, gents, when I think about it, that LGD, this legendary name of Dota 2, has never taken the Aegis.
It's pretty unbelievable. And at various points, they've had a couple of different teams that have been up in the top echelon. I think back to TI7, you know, LFY and LGD, both making it up there, and it blows my mind. I have to also say, I think I need to go to a doctor because I've had goosebumps for the past hour. It's just, it keeps going.
It's fine. I think if you have got it, it's spread, because I've got it as well. I've seen the Koss rubbing his neck a little bit and stuff, so I think we've got goosebumpitis.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is actually extremely exciting. LGD, FY was in 2 grand finals of TI, but never,
the only player
never
that
won
won 2 and not win.
Yeah, and I love what Poppy said, that China is the cradle of Dota. When no one knew how to play Dota, we came into the China misery with not eHome and the LGD International to learn how to actually play Dota.
Yeah, they definitely set the early meta of this game.
I think you should go back, learn a little bit more about Buddy. Just spamming some pudge in the pubs.
Do you know, I was actually thinking, you guys have been fairly civil and polite so far. I was expecting a bit more spice.
We're going to save it for a little bit later, right? Wait till things get a little, when you need it. Yeah, for now, we don't need to do much, because the crowd is kind of carrying us here.
Let's talk about these two teams in group stage, Trent. 8-8 for Virtus.pro struggled for the most part and only got through on that final day. One game is effectively a best of one for the upper bracket, which they won, obviously. PSG, on the other hand, that have the second best record. And when you look at all of the stats, they feature in the top 2 or 3 teams for most kills, least deaths, best GPM, least deaths on a play. They're up there in the top 2 or 3. Virtus.pro don't feature in the top 10 for anything other than deaths.
No, and they started okay, right? I mean, they're coming to this tournament. They won some majors, well, a major. Like, it's Virtus.pro, of course. I'm going to go for Virtus.pro, right? Yep. These are good players. They've had their historic struggles at TI. I mean, we're not going to lie to you. I mean, that wasn't going to happen. It was, I think, when they got 0-2'd by Na'Vi. It's like, oh, that's not good. And then suddenly you're down, right? They lost another 2 after that, and then every single draw, you're just treading water, right? You're not gaining back up there, and it wasn't right till the end, as you said, where they finally just like squeaked their way up, and then everyone's like, oh, see, I knew VP would be upper bracket. Who was worried?
But gents, isn't that the mark of a really good team? The one that aren't playing well, haven't quite figured the meta out, but still somehow make the upper bracket.
Well, you need to play good all the time, and I mean, fans were a little bit considering whether they're going to make it or not, but this is not the VP that we're used to. Like, we know the full divide dot cover. They go all in, the aggressive. You lose 1 or 2 heroes, and suddenly you don't have the Raxes. And this is not what we've seen from Virtus.pro.
To your point, though, the thing that I was going to mention is that it felt like they had different ideas coming in when they started compared to when they ended. Right. You look at it, it's like Leshrac and Vengeful Spirit. They're the only team, except for one, that played Vengeful Spirit. They all lost every single game that they played with it. So if they can just get through on pure skill, it's the type of a team that can come back and really make a run.
Yeah, later on, they seem to have moved more towards so PSG playing Ogre and ET straight away, so they kind of figured it out. Virtus.pro have kind of gone that way. Oh, okay, that's the meta. Yeah, we figured it out. So they've got good captain, they've got great players. We know they can come back. But what is it about TI, Trent? Because they don't perform here. They did in 2018, they did in 2017 either.
I think for both teams, right, after these performances, when you feel like you're strong teams, you have that question of just like everyone's looking around the room after the game ends like, all right, guys, what's going on? Are we staying together? What's the plan here? And Virtus.pro, I think, was a team that a lot of people did not think would be staying together, if I had to guess, after last year, right? I would have expected some sort of changes, something, but no, they stuck it out.
They did.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they went for that sort of a change, the shift the blame scapegoat kind of change. Perfect. Yeah. And then LGD was kind of the same thing, but, you know, it's second place at TI, so that I can more understand, right? We feel like we can make that change, and we can do it. So both these teams coming back again, same guys, but hopefully fresher and stronger.
It's funny, actually, as well. PSG didn't have the best of seasons. Didn't win a major, obviously, weren't very competitive. They were fine, but they weren't greatly competitive. Weren't up there with the secrets of this world. And yeah, every time they placed against VP, they had really good games. They actually finished ahead of VP, 5-4 or head-to-head during the regular season. So they've got their number. And 12 months ago, let's not forget, 2-0'd Virtus.pro to send them to the lower bracket. So
they definitely know how to play against Virtus.pro. I mean, their styles are pretty much similar with the aggressiveness, but Virtus.pro's aggressive level kind of dropped. And as you said, LGD, they were not at not even in top 3 at any major. I think that's the mental thing that they need to go through.
Yeah. Does it matter, Trent, in the end, when it comes down to it? No. You know, we're at TI. Anything goes now, right?
Well, right now, it doesn't matter.
Everyone that's left in has a chance.
They do. I would say, though, that the big problem for VP is they're sort of a victim of their own success, that they've never had to struggle during the regular season because they're just that much better. And so when they do struggle at TI, all of the pressure is on them. It's a different feeling, right? Like, you have a different feeling when you've actually never been challenged, really, and you just dominate everybody all year long. It's different. It's tough.
Yeah, I'm glad you raised pressure, because I also want to bring up the whole pressure on Chinese teams must be enormous. Every time we come out here, guys, right, we talk about this because it happens a lot, right? You know, we talk about the home fan advantage, home crowd advantage, hometown, whatever you want to call it. But actually, it seems to work the opposite way, Lacoste, in China, because the Chinese teams feel like there's more pressure. I mean, we have fans in the hotel last night on the first and second floor just trying to find players.
Yeah, they're
running around,
very proudful about their country, as everyone is.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this is the year that they are going to take TI, it's this. Vici Gaming's looking extremely strong. Same goes
so you don't think it matters for them? You don't think that pressure on them is bad?
Well, it's a lot of pressure, but I mean, there's all experienced players who know how to play under a lot of pressure, and once you're in the booth, I don't think you're thinking about anything else rather than Dota 2.
I think the pressure that I would be more concerned about for them is the pressure they put on themselves, as opposed to the pressure they're feeling.
I've got to win because I'm in China.
Exactly.
All the eyes are, but it's like I'm putting pressure.
Exactly. So you know, the stress. It's just a very stressful event, and I think for players in particular, the big goal is just to get out of that and let's get into the Dota game and just focus on that.
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of again, going back to the intros, if there's one man on PSG LGD that gets the biggest cheer, it's maybe every time. And he's such an icon out here.
Yeah, and he did something this year that Solo did as well, right, where he took a break. Where this idea of just like not grinding through the entire year constantly, and LGD used the opportunity to bring up one of their younger players, right? They had I think it was XM who came in. He played a bunch of matches with them, and he was on one of like the minor teams, kind of in the area. And so cool, this guy gets some good experience, maybe gets a break, very good stuff. VP, they do the same thing, right? Solo took a break, and Arzik gets that new perspective, right?
Yeah.
He's actually playing in the games, kind of maybe seeing how his team communicates a little bit more than an actual official and stuff. So I think both these teams, that's what it comes down to. It's focusing on TI. It's not about these majors or these minors throughout the year.
It's looking ahead.
Just get here, and then we'll play the real Dota.
I have to disagree with you, Paul, a little bit. I think cheering for Ame was the loudest one because people love Ame. He's one of my favorite
Have you
players
got some
from
sort
LGD.
of crowd measuring tool under here?
Nah, I just have a good hearing.
Okay,
that's all.
well, I definitely don't.
So we love Ame because when he plays Dota, you know something good and bad is going to happen. Mostly it's good, but they've been picking a lot of Void. And this is the hero that either you look extremely good or what is this guy doing? And they picked Void 4 or 5 times.
5 times, 4 on 1
stage.
during the group stage.
And he tended to look good. We should say that. There
Most
too
of the
many
time.
For now.
Exactly.
Yeah, until Virtus Pro figure him out some way. And he's actually just 1 game away, by the way, from 300 career wins with PSG LGD.
Wow.
I mean, because you think of I think of LGD these days, not of Gel 8. I actually think of LGD with maybe because he's coming up for like 1,200 games or something ridiculous. But Ame's been there a long time now. He's part of the furniture as well.
And what's crazy is that he's relatively young too, like a young guy, young player. It feels like a lot of people take inspiration from him too, like across all the other scenes. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like whenever. I mean, what is it? LGD Ame fan. That's like the big meme on Reddit, right? That some insider or whatever. They love him.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he comes with the new jungle strats, right? He gets the new item built, and you see the NA pubs guys like, oh, what's Ame doing over there? Oh, okay, I'm gonna try that in my game. For some reason, it doesn't work nearly as well. I don't know what's up with that, but
not quite. Virtus Pro got plenty of cheers though on the way in. Obviously, been decorating themselves with Chinese words. I think that's really smart, by the way. Just a side story, but I think it's really smart that they've appealed to the Chinese fans by changing all the names on the back, and they've got some decorations on the front, and it's obviously paid dividends. So, obviously, the majority of the fans here cheer for LGD.
Yeah, but I think the crowd loves Virtus Pro. They are cheering for good Dota. They want to see LGD winning 2-1 against Virtus Pro because I think everyone wants to see Game 3 here.
Yeah, I would love Game 3 for fantasy points alone.
There, now you're really thinking,
no, I messed up. I didn't do my fantasy.
Lyrical. Come on now.
My bad.
Well, whilst he sucks, let's go over to 3 men that don't suck too much.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. My name's Tsunami, and I'm joined by 2 men whose streams you've probably fallen asleep to. It's Cinder and Purge. It's a pleasure to be here. We are bringing back the draft panel. It's been a long time coming, but we don't really trust them to talk about the Dota. I trust you two to talk about the Dota. Guys, it's LGD versus VP. These teams always face off at the beginning of TI. How is this fated to be all the time?
Oh, they're both really good.
Yeah, that's exactly extremely good players. I mean, it's going to happen. You get winner bracket, and there's only, what, 4 options? So, yeah.
I like what they mentioned on the panel over there that Virtus Pro had a really slow start, which is kind of unusual, I want to say. Generally, when we've seen VP in big tournaments, they come in really hot, and then they get cold when it gets crunch time for main events. This time around, they've had to struggle through the groups, which could end up being helpful for them, getting this experience of learning from losses. We've seen plenty of times in previous tournaments that teams that start up losing and regain momentum suddenly go really far. OG barely got 4th in groups last year. They end up winning the whole thing. We've had plenty of tournaments with teams like Evil Geniuses with slow starts.
Yeah, I think what's important is that the teams that ultimately want to win TIs, they do what they think is best. They don't try to follow the meta, and I think VP is a lineup that is doing that, even though they had that rough start. One thing that I thought was really interesting about looking over their past drafts is the one hero that they didn't pick or ban the whole group stage was Ogre Magi, which is mind-blowing considering the fact that almost every other team prioritizes it as like the 3rd or 4th best hero, ideally as offlane, sometimes as support. So that's something that could be really interesting going into the draft.
He's been the hero of the tournament, and for Virtus Pro, they seem to be favoring a little bit more of this like Shadow Demon support type thing, as we should see the draft beginning shortly. LGD versus VP, Game 1. It is a best of 3 in this upper bracket. We're going to start taking a look at the heroes.
They're jumping into it pretty quick. No Ogre ban or pick. Enchantress was definitely one of the most important heroes for everybody here. VP ended up banning that in the first stage. In the first 2 picks, we have a Silencer Earthshaker for Virtus Pro, and for LGD, we have a Rubik and a Tidehunter.
Silencer first phase, Cinderin.
Yeah.
What is all this happening?
I love this hero. And I think Solo has a very good understanding of how to play it in lane. Silencer was a hero going into this tournament that I thought teams were in general going to rate higher than they have. But VP was definitely one of the top teams that I would be looking to pick this hero more than others. Simply, even the possibility of running at core, which I don't know if we've seen them do, but when you pick it this early, it can even be a flex pick. Silencer has a lot of good matchups in mid, and overall, just this first phase in general for both teams is super team fight heavy. So I think both teams are coming in with this plan that, all right, the way we're going to be playing this first game of the main event will be centered around taking really good team fight executions. And yeah, Silencer breaks that up really nicely.
It'll help a lot against the Rubik and the Tide for sure, because then if you do start an engagement, at least in the first or early part of the game, you can prevent some steals, you can make sure that the Ravage comes late or something like that.
Yeah, the potential for the team fight seems to be a very conservative way to enter a high-stakes event like this, because everyone always says, you know, like, oh, your laning phase may not matter. Late game
LGD's turn to ban.
it may not matter. It just matters about your initiation and your team fight execution. They've got the initiation set up as well on Virtus Pro with the Earthshaker, a hero that we've been seeing also in a variety of roles. We saw some Miracle Earthshaker in the group stage. Obviously, we saw Tim's crushing it on the Earthshaker. This is a hero that has a lot of flex potential, but is always great at initiation.
The other heroes to pay attention to, not necessarily just in this game, but the top 3 supports right now are probably Shadow Demon, Elder Titan, and Ogre is the third most likely. So those all getting banned in the first phase, not too surprising there. LGD using Fleshrack a lot in their
5 seconds.
group stage. It was a lot of like SD, Fleshrack, Elder Titan, and Fleshrack openings. So they've done their homework.
Something curious about this draft is when you think about the pick order, when we jumped in, we saw the 2 heroes.
It's Radiant's turn to pick.
Brewmaster!
Ten seconds. 5 seconds. It's Dire's turn to pick.
Ogre Magi!
It's Radiant's turn to ban.
Morphling.
Ten seconds. 5 seconds. It's Dire's turn to ban.
Listo, gente, pues ya estamos aquí en el drafting. Dejé un poquito la pantallita aquí de los jugadores para que vean más o menos las expresiones que están teniendo. Obviamente, pues algunos se ven un poquito nerviosos. Y tenemos un pick que, pues de cierta manera no esperábamos tanto, porque es un héroe de los que no se han piqueado en este internacional, que era Brewmaster, el cual vimos que nos regalaron un poquito esa información de parte de los analistas oficiales de Valve. Y pues bueno, ¿qué es lo que va a pasar? No lo sé, no sé a quién apoyen ustedes. Personalmente yo creo que va a ganar PSG LGD. Y yo creo que el bug que tengo aquí de los héroes que no se están moviendo en la parte de arriba lo confirma. Una disculpa, pero el perro está un poquito inquieto desde hace rato. No tengo idea por qué, pero bueno. ¿Qué tenemos? Tenemos un pick de Tidehunter, Rubik, Gyro y el Ogro para PSG LGD. Les falta escoger su mid. Y para Virtus Pro tenemos a Silencer, Airshaker, Brewmaster y Morphling. Honestamente no iba a castear la partida, porque tendría que castear todas después de esta. Pero vamos a ver cómo nos va. Si nos va bien, casteo el resto, no importa. Hay un pick de Dazzle para Virtus Pro. Tenemos bans importantes. De hecho, un ban que también he visto bastante desde que empezó el TI ha sido Lesrak y Enchantress, los cuales ambos los hizo la escuadra de Virtus Pro. Y tenemos para PSG LGD a Sven. Vamos a esperar a que empiece la partida para hacer la presentación de los equipos. ¿A quién apoyan ustedes en esta partida? Díganme, escríbanme ahí en los comentarios. ¿Quién creen que va a ganar? ¿O a quién apoyan? ¡Ah, su puta madre! ¡Qué emoción! Ahora sí. Esta es la primera de 3 partidas. Ok, entonces, a ver, primero voy a hacer unas predicciones. El jugador con mayores last hits para el minuto número 7. Ok, yo creo que va a ser... Ojalá que no que no tipeen tanto, pero me voy a ir por Somus. Yo creo que con los stacks va a tener una ventaja bastante clara. Números de teleportes cancelados. Esta yo creo que está un poquito más fácil. Voy a colocar 0. No creo que... para minuto 25. Ok, pensé que era para minuto 15. Voy a colocar 2. Ahí, total de números de Smoke Gangs hasta el final del juego. Voy a colocar de 5 a 8. Es una media que han estado manejando la mayoría de los jugadores. ¿Y cuánto va a ser la duración del juego? Voy a colocar de 44 a 60 minutos. Esas son las predicciones que voy a colocar. Ok. Y vamos a utilizar el Hero Chase para hacer la presentación de los jugadores. Tenemos a Ame. Con Sven Harkari jugando una safe lane de parte de PSG LGD. Tenemos a Sumus que va a jugar en la parte de mid con Gyrocopter, a Ex Nova con el Ogro, me solté uno, a Fai con Rubik, a Chalice con Tide Hunter en la off. Tenemos a Ramsés con Morphling, que me espero bastante de este Ramsés. O sea, honestamente yo creo que va a ganar PSG LGD la serie. Pero me gusta bastante el draft que tiene Virtus Pro por el momento. Entonces, tenemos a Ramsés con Morphling, a Solo con Silencer. Tenemos un Dazzle Mid para No One. A Pasha lo tenemos con Brewmaster. A Rodger finalmente lo tenemos con Earthshaker. Que de hecho, si se dan cuenta, no salió con nada de cura. Va a ser unas rotaciones muy prontas con esa botita. Yo creo que gankearon fácilmente a mid. Y pues básicamente para eso se rushean las botas. Ok, vamos a colocar una cámara. Huepas, normalmente no me gusta cómo se mueve, pero vamos a ver qué tal. Ya en dado caso de que no se esté moviendo también la cámara, la cambiamos. Ya va a haber un gang mid ahí en la parte de mid con Rodger y con No One. No creo que logren nada. O sea, la fisura no estuvo como que tan bien para bloquear ahí. Y pues Jairo logra escapar muy fácilmente sin estar tanto en peligro. Bastante daño mágico a Ramsés de parte de Chalice y de Fai. Y Pasha pues la tiene... Está tranquila su línea de Brew. Está bastante bien de HP. No ha sido como que tan necesario utilizar sus curas. E incluso está cortando el creep wave allá abajo. Uy, cuidado con Solo. Va a morir a manos de Fai. Ese Rubik se lleva la primera sangre. Estúpido perro. Voy a quedar un segundo. Voy a poner tantito los broadcasters de Valve en lo que se cae este perro.
Definitely the fact that Sven is starting well, as you say. This is what BSJ talked about. He was worried about LGD. If they can get that Jara and Sven off to a good start, it's going to be very tough for VP to sort of hold the game up to the point where Morph is able to come to the fights and really utilize the flak without being run over.
Ooh, look at FI doubling up the wave there nicely for Chalice, making Ramses also farm under the tower as well. Some nice moves around here by FI, just building those up. He's just dancing around.
He is, and obviously what the VP do, they can start to walk Solo over, but FY, he's got a team.
Ok, ya se cayó un poquito. Yo creo que Fai va a morir por ese creep wave, que de hecho juntó 3 creep waves ahí para ayudar a Tide Hunter en su off. Bastante arriesgado porque Silencer se llevó el robo de inteligencia. No sé qué tan conveniente haya sido haber hecho ese stack en el creep wave. Y Pasha hace lo mismo, bueno, no está haciendo lo mismo, pero se está llevando el wave a la torre para farmear de una manera más segura. Simplemente los va a llevar ahí para farmearlos bien. No hizo un stack tan grande como en la parte de top. Me salté el First Blood. No vi quién lo hizo porque como estaba acomodando aquí todo el audio y demás. Ah, sí, se lo había llevado Fai. Posteriormente... ok. No, sí estuvo bien. Mil disculpas. Charlie está en problemas. ¿El daño será suficiente? No lo es. No lo es. Faltó ahí bastante daño. Charlie sale con vida. Sin embargo, regresa a la línea. Recordémonos que juntaron 3 creep waves ahí. De hecho, Chalice va a morir a manos de Silencer. Yo creo que se arriesgó bastante al regresar a la línea. O sea, con un wave literal de 3 montones ahí de creep waves. Hicieron bastante daño. Las runas lleva una PSG LGD, no, 2 PSG LGD en la parte de abajo y 2 VP en la parte de arriba. En last hit y The Nice va ganando Dazzle en la parte de mid. No one. Me gusta bastante Dazzle en la parte de mid, ya que es un héroe que puede ser muy fuerte. De hecho, va a sacar Necromicon, o sea, le falta realmente muy poquito. Yo creo unos cuantos minutos ahí. Va a haber un Smoke Gank en la parte de mid. Uy, Roger los revela. Yo creo que él iba a hacer lo propio, también un gank ahí. Y pues la escuadra de PSG LGD tiene que echarse para atrás. Uy, cuidado con Blue Master. Muere a manos de Ame. No sé cómo se pronuncie Ame. Yo creo que así está bien. ¿Cómo van las predicciones? Para el minuto 7 creo que se la va a llevar Dazzle. Le está ganando por mucho a Gyro. Uy, mataron el courier de Gyro. De Virtus Pro. El score va 2-2. Tenemos a Earthshaker con sus botitas de cura. Que se llaman... no me acuerdo. Tranquil Boots. Y PSG ya está haciendo stacks para su Gyro. Que realmente sí tuvo ahí como que problemitas en la parte de mid, no pudo farmear tanto. Dazzle tuvo más las hits que él. Voy a poner tantito nuevamente ahí la parte de las hits. Se está 43 las hits a 27 en la parte de mid. O sea, sí es una diferencia bastante grande, pero los stacks van a hacer la diferencia ahí. No, porque no tengo dinero. Por acá. No tengo dinero. No tengo dinero. Pues si quiero algo, pero no tengo. No, aparte no, ahí están los de estos.
Pero no entonces.
No, como los de esos. Aparte sí ahora. Listo, mil disculpas, ya estoy de regreso. Me hablaron por acá tantito. ¿Y en qué nos quedamos? Aguas con solo. Puede morir ahí. Literalmente casi toda la escuadra. Buen bloqueo de parte de Shaker. The next level play. El daño no es suficiente del torpedo de Somos. Chalice, ¿qué tal va de ítems? Ya tiene sus botitas de maná y va a ir por pipa aparentemente. Y vamos a tener una Midas bastante rápida para Sven. Ya empiezan a hacer las rotaciones los hard carry. Probablemente ya veamos a Sven en la parte de arriba. Me gusta lo que está haciendo No One, el Necro, para tener más push. Uy, cuidado, buen bloqueo de parte de Roger. Inicia Pasha con su ulti. Yo creo que el ulti de Gyro no va a ser suficiente y va a morir a manos de No One. Está jugando bastante bien Virtus Pro hasta el momento. Tienen Sven ahí bastante bien controlado con los stuns. Sin embargo, se acaba el ulti de Pasha y tienen que retroceder. A ver, ¿qué tal va el nivel? Network Experience. El nivel más bajito los tenemos de parte de los soportes de Virtus Pro, que es Roger y Solo. Están bastante bajitos en nivel. Y ya tenemos el Necro nivel 1 de parte de No One, que va a hacer bastante daño con la cura y el Necro. Me gusta ese build que está haciendo. Estoy checando un poquito los ítems. Ramsés tiene 3 Great Band, bastantes stats. Van a pushear la parte de top. PSG. Y yo creo que esa torre está más que muerta. Se la lleva a Meame. Y abajo Ramsés se lleva la torre de bot. Fue como un tipo de trado. Sin embargo, la parte de top está más pushada por PSG y LGD. Cuidado con Fai. Yo creo que va a haber daño suficiente. No. Podría morir. Muere a manos de No One. O sea, entre el potion y la primera de Silencer hace bastante daño. Hay un push en la parte de mid. Parece que van a defender. Ya roto Ramsés. PSG LGD tiene una ventaja muy grande, que es el control de área. Uy, buen bloqueo de parte de Roger. Se animaron a iniciar. Si van a iniciar el Nova. Está muertísimo. Uy, cuidado con Roger. Yo creo que va a morir a manos de Gyro. Uy, se salvó por nada, utilizó su varita. Y ahora Meame es el que está en problemas. Y se lo lleva Ramsés. Buen ulti de Tide Hunter, impactando en los 5, en toda la escuadra de Virtus Pro. Sin embargo, no es suficiente. El daño que tiene Virtus Pro es suficiente como para matar a Viper. Y yo creo que a toda la escuadra, si no se hubiese tepeado nuevamente Tide Hunter, hubiera muerto también a manos de la escuadra. Mira qué manera de stackear, papá. Esa no me la sabía, la voy a aplicar. 2 stacks de parte de Roger para Virtus Pro. Utiliza su ulti para farmear esos stacks, que de hecho estuvo bastante bien, sacó bastante oro. Va a utilizar el Shrine para regenerarse un poquito la vida. Y vamos a tener un Morphling con Linkens, lo cual se me hace una muy buena decisión. Hay bastantes héroes que igualmente la podrían romper. Quiere prevenir tanto el stun de Sven como Gyro, el stun del Ogro, la levitación de Rubik. Se me hace bien. Pero ¿por qué no un BKB? Nos asomos con una Arcane Root. Dice Ryder que apoya Virtus Pro. No lo sé, papá. Ahorita están teniendo bastante control. O sea, si te das cuenta, no están jugando como en la fase de grupos. ¿Ves? Buen deny de parte de Roger. Y nuestro Dazzle va a ir por Grebas.
Dire with the scan.
Muy buen control de mapa tiene PSG LGD con este ward. Me gusta. Van a ser dos bounty runs para Virtus Pro y 2 para PSG LGD. Va a haber un push en la parte de bot de parte de Virtus Pro. ¿Están seguros? Bastante seguros de seguir pusheando ahí. Hay un TP de parte del logro. Yo creo que va a haber un intercambio de torres. E incluso Virtus Pro podría tepear para defender su tier 2. Muchas gracias, Jesús, por el like y la transmisión. Aguas con el ogro. Que Nova está muertísimo. Y la presión de parte de Virtus Pro continúa. Ya se tepean para defender ese tier 2. El daño que tiene PSG LGD no es suficiente para terminar el trabajo ahí con esa torre. Ah, estúpido perro, ¿por qué me hace esto cuando estoy transmitiendo? Saludos, Bossy, saludos, brother, muchísimas gracias. Ya está casi completa la Linkens para... Oh, se me fue su nombre. Para Ramsés. De hecho ya la tiene, nada más es que mando el courier a la tienda y listo. Con cuidado con Brewmaster, no creo que lo lleguen a matar por su último. Aunque Sven tiene el daño suficiente como para matar al Brew. Uy. Ese daño de la cura de No One. Suficiente para terminar con la vida de Sven. Si me lo preguntan, Virtus Pro está dominando, o sea, está haciendo un excelente trabajo. Hay que revisar un poquito los ítems más importantes que tienen. En el caso de Ame con Sven, tiene Midas, ya va a ir por Black Imba y tiene su Eco Sabre. De parte de Jairo, a pesar de que fue mid, tiene solamente tamborcitos y es así como que el ítem más relevante que tiene. Nova no tiene nada, ha muerto bastante a manos de la escuadra de Virtus Pro. Rubik tiene Ether Lens, que me gusta bastante para ese héroe, ya que tiene bastante rango tanto para robar como para levitar a los héroes enemigos. Y de parte de Chalice tenemos su Blink, tenemos el Hood of para prevenir todo el daño mágico. Uy, cuidado con este teamfight, solo estaba en problemas, sin embargo yo creo que va a lograr sobrevivir. El daño no es suficiente de parte del torpedo, pero se llevan un héroe muchísimo más importante que Ramses, a Morphling, que muere a manos de Rubik, a manos de Five. Yo creo que la pelea terminó ahí. Siguen un poquito con la persecución. Sin embargo, no creo que se animen a divear tanto, ya que todavía sigue teniendo Virtus Pro su tier número 1 de la parte de mid. Cuidado con Chalice, es muy posible comer. Yo creo que tiene el daño suficiente. Uy, acaban de matar a Roger. De hecho el kill se lo llevó Fai, se lo robó. Yo creo que se le iba al Sven y dice: ahí te voy, papá, no se te vaya a ir. Se lo robó, robadazo ese kill. No creo que haya sido necesario de parte de Fai, pero quiso prevenir el que no se la llevaran. Ya hay un Black Bar en el courier de PSG LGD, que me imagino que es el Black Bar de desven. Uy, miren esa curva de experiencia, esa curva de network. Hubo un cambio bastante importante ahí. Bastante. Pero acá rushan bastante rápido. No sé si PSG y el LGD ya se haya dado cuenta. No hay un guardeo ahí como que tan grande. Apenas acaban de plantar sentries. Quién sabe si ya se hayan dado cuenta.